The night is no longer full of terrors. Wow, what an epic, action-packed, dramatic episode. I was a little disappointed that they defeated the Night King with just Valyrian steel. I wish they would have done more with the Night King's mythology. But he did come out in full force. There was no disappointment there. The Night King and his army was terrifying throughout this episode. I think they really did a good job pulling off the emotional drama and suspense for all our characters. I did feel a sense of relief at the end that the Night King is dead and the long night is over, but I really wish they could have given us more of a journey. There is no way that the threat that Cersei represents is the same as the terror felt for the Night King. I think Bran had an idea of their best chance of success to draw out the Night King and expose him, but that required a lot of sacrifice from our heroes and armies. His visions were most likely clouded and incomplete, and he only knew the parts that everyone played. He didn't have all the information and therefore not 100% sure of the exact outcome. He knew where he had to be, and he knew he had to delay the Night King enough to give Arya her moment. This included sacrificing Theon to help Arya buy her that time. There's an interview from Entertainment Weekly that captured our actors' reactions to Arya's big moment. Malaise Williams thought viewers would be upset, and Kit Harington was surprised it wasn't him. In the same interview, I do agree with the statement that it's really hard to do the building up of a villain that is impossible to defeat, and then you defeat them. I also agree that the way you defeat them should be intelligently done. My thoughts on this was that it could have been better if Jon was fighting the Night King, then distracted him enough to have Arya give the final blow, or have Arya distract the Night King to give Jon the final blow. I didn't like that the Dothraki charged at the Night King's army. I thought that would be suicide. However, watching all the lights go out as the Dothraki charged did intensify the drama and terror. I also thought that when the Dothraki were returning, they had already been converted to whites and were charging back. It was also very terrifying to see how row after row of Unsullied were being defeated and their formations were being pushed back. I give them a lot of respect for having so much discipline to stay in formation and covering the retreat. I thought it was brilliant that Arya used the same trick to kill the Night King that she used when she was sprawling with Brienne. It's going to be her signature move for all time, the Arya Shank. Jaqen H'ghar and Syria Forel would be proud. Arya is now the MVP of the Faceless Men. I didn't completely buy that she could sneak past all those undead and jump at the Night King, but I could see that the Night King had commanded his undead army around him to stand down so that they can all watch him ceremoniously kill Bran. I think this was the distraction that Bran was hoping for to give Arya her moment. I was surprised that Melisandre showed up in time by herself. I liked the fact that she helped contribute to the fight and was not overpowered. At the same time, her role in the fight was very diminished and limited to lighting the trenches and putting the seed in Arya to defeat the Night King. I felt that her main role she played in the series was to warn others about the looming threat and set about the motion of events to bring our characters together. As soon as the Night King raised the dead in front of Jon, I realized that there was no option to escape from this, and that our heroes would have to kill the Night King through his Achilles heel. This theory was also solidified further because there was no undead Starks fighting for Winterfell and no Lord of Light army. I held out hope that Melisandre would help Jon bring out Lightbringer, but it was still a pleasant surprise to have Arya take out the Night King. It seems that the Dothraki are now completely wiped out and the Unsullied are also decimated, so it will be more of an even match to take on Cersei. I couldn't believe that a lot of our heroes survived the rush of whites and being dogpiled. I thought Brienne, Podrick, Grey Worm, and anyone out in the front line would survive. Did you see how fast those whites were moving? Beric Dondarrion's death seemed a little empty. I thought the Lord of Light would have him play a bigger role, to keep him alive, but I guess we all have our parts to play, big or small. My final thoughts in seeing a lot of online disappointment of how the battle played out is that I think the showrunners of Game of Thrones had a lot of pressure to finish this last season. There just wasn't enough setup, time, and most importantly, energy left in everyone to really make this a 10 out of 10 payoff. They may also have chosen a different creative direction that was very different from the books. We got a 9 out of 10 payoff instead, but maybe it was too risky and that much more time and energy to give us that extra point. I can still respect the amount of effort put in and the decisions made with the show. I'm still very happy with a 9 out of 10, and everyone will just have to be okay with that. So these are my thoughts so far. Overall, I enjoyed the episode, but I still can't help for wanting more. But perhaps that is a good thing. Thanks for listening to this video. Please hit the like button if you liked it or the dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more thoughts, theories, and ideas.